Speaker Pelosi and her loathsome gang of geriatric globalism swindlers are so riddled with Trump Derangement Syndrome that they should all be carted off to a mental facility instead of wasting the taxpayers' time and money.
Really strong support in the country for us to seek the truth, find the truth, but also understand how we have to protect the American people from what might be out there in terms of domestic terrorism and the rest.
But of course, they will be given a blank check to prolong the madness with the 9/11-style commission to investigate Trump's role and that of the role of American citizens in the Capitol Riot on January 6th.
29 days ago, the glass in and around this very chamber was shattered by gunshots, clubs, by individuals seeking to restrain and murder members of Congress duly elected to carry out the duties of their office.
I know there are idiots on other cable news channels that will say, well, you know, this mom and pop store was vandalized during the summer riots, and that's just as bad as the United States Capitol being vandalized. No, actually, no, jackass, it's not.
It would be far better if we were having this hearing on Tuesday with a lot of information being returned. I mean, testimony from the people that were involved, other than just news accounts. But right now, we're going to be going to that hearing with what we've read in the newspaper. And I guess what the House managers presented in, I don't even want to call it a trial.
There was a chance that Nancy Pelosi would have ended up being called as a witness. She did not want to be called as a witness because there is a substantial amount of evidence that she, as the presiding officer, was pre-warned of something might be happening on January 6th, and there is plenty of evidence to suggest that she was not doubling down on security on that day, and the former boss of the Capitol Police would have testified to that very point.
The actual 9/11 Commission formed 18 years ago. During that investigation, the CIA withheld information regarding the 9/11 hijackers. Fast forward to today, will Pelosi omit the fact that Schumer and herself, in league with the Sargent at arms, are involved in a cover-up of their role of the cause of the security breach of the Capitol on January 6th?
I think the police department at the Capitol was complicit. I dealt with those people when I was in the Pentagon on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and we used to provide military support to civil authorities for inauguration and major events inside the city of Washington. And that's a well-oiled machine. I call for all of them to be fired. And that is starting to happen. They're starting to fire them. But that was complicit. There's people inside the chain of command of that Capitol Police that allowed this to happen.
But I'm concerned about what they're laying the groundwork for here, what Nancy Pelosi's doing. I'm concerned that they continue to treat the January 6th catastrophe, that criminal riot, as an excuse to seize power, to control more power, to step on people's Second Amendment rights, to take away their First Amendment rights. Now we're hearing about a domestic war on terror. I mean, what's that going to be? An excuse to go rifle through the emails and bank statements and personal messages of law-abiding Americans? I mean, this is very, very frightening stuff. And what Pelosi and the Democrats are doing here, trying to consolidate power, it's dangerous.
And as the culture of fear grows, Donald Trump will poke the hornet's nest with an appearance at CPAC.
We're going to have a real battle for the soul of the Republican Party over the next couple of years, and we're going to say, are we going to be a party that can't win national elections again, that loses the presidency, the House, and the Senate in a 4-year period, and loses governors and state legislative bodies, or are we somehow going to get back to a real traditional Republican Party, common sense conservatives that want to argue and put up, to push for the things that we've always believed in, and to try to compete with Democrats? Because I think that a competitive two-party system is so important to our democracy, and we're losing. There's no question about that.
Pelosi's commission will likely create targeted designations on patriots across the nation, continuing the damage the 9/11 Commission did to American liberties 18 years ago, dooming the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments into oblivion. John Bound reporting.